Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Okay, so what's going on today? We've got no news. There's some medium impact news, but it doesn't really seem to play a part. So at the moment, we just look like we're doing a bit of sideways with a breakout. If I look back over the latter part of yesterday, we sort of got the same picture. So there is a possibility we could just be ranging. Another reason I think we may have a range day today is looking on the daily. Hey Kev, how you doing, bud? Looking on the daily, we've had a couple of strong pushes up. Now this may just do a bit of sideways today. A lot of times, as we know, when we see these, it pushes up and goes a bit sideways. So there is a possibility this could just flit up and down and not really do much today. So keep an eye on that. So Speedy, how you doing, buddy? Adnan, how are you? I'm here again. Excellent. So I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Not a bad day for me. One trade, got 6 ticks yesterday. I didn't want to push my luck, so there you go. So this looks like a part of a range here. Having said that, on the NQ, this to me looks like it's working in that channel. It's touching twice at the top. We've got a touching a bunch of times here and touching here. So whether we're going to have a leg down, and a push higher is a possibility. This would tell us maybe we're just coming back into the range. But we're going to keep an eye on this. If we can 2 legs back and a higher low. Keep an eye on that because there is a possibility. It looks like we've got a leg and a leg. Let's just have a quick look. So there's a leg there and maybe a leg there. Hard to say. Just incidentally, I was looking around some of the Facebook groups and I saw this. Can anybody read that? It just someone had put a post, a guy called Chris Connell. Well, it happened to me again. Made a payout request and I'm getting asked to describe my trading plan and provide NinjaTrader logs and trace files. This email said occasionally that Apex does this. This is 2 for 2. It's twice it's happened. Last month I provided detailed trading plans and pictures, and this time I reiterated and provided video, and I'm still being asked to provide NinjaTrader logs and trace files. I've not heard of this before. I was paid last month and I've done all of it's alright, I'll read myself. All I've done is refine my process in the past month and I'm here again. So I don't know if anybody's come across that before. I'm frustrated. I don't use NinjaTrader. I don't know. So I just put it on the Discord just to see if anybody else. I've never heard it before. That's all. It's just unusual. So, you know, whether this guy's got an unusual trading strategy which has flagged anything up, or whether this is something that they do. I've just not heard of it myself. So I just thought I'd ask, see if anybody had come across it before, because it's a new one on me, I've got to say. So, and the 10,000 tick chart, we have a massive uptrend. We have a break and some range correction. Yeah, well, yeah. I looked at that and it triggered and came straight back down. So if we can get let's see if we can get, I don't know. See, I'll be looking for a second entry short here. Where's the market due to open? Are we open officially yet? Yes, we are. So you think we've got an uptrend, do you? Interesting. So we got a leg down, 1, 2 legs up. This is interesting. This is. If we can get a second entry short, maybe a lower high, then I may be interested in that. We'll see. But you think we got an uptrend at the moment? So okay, so that's possible. Got a leg and a leg. Let's put that like that. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just change the daily to to the 10,000 tick chart. We'll have a quick look. Okay, so that's interesting. Second entry short there. That's very interesting. That was a real quick drop, that was. Leg down, 2 legs up. I'd say this is going to come and break these lows. There is a nice second entry short there. Trouble is, market moved that quick. Kind of put me off thinking about taking anything there. Edit. No, let's just forget that in a minute. So this is interesting. Let's have a look. So we're quite low away from the EMA, so I don't know whether I want to go short there for a second leg down. It may come down, and this may come down here, but we're quite far from the EMA there, so let's see if we can get a lower high here. No, it's too late now, I think. I don't think. Well, there's a second entry short there. Trouble is for me, EMA's a bit flat and it is above. It is above here at the moment. So it's not a trade I would take that. Just at the moment, because it's a little bit unclear what's going on. But if we can get a lower high there, then maybe I would have done. Where was I? Let's just try this again. So this is very bearish at the moment. This is. Let's just get rid of that in a minute. So that would have worked. Trouble is when it drops that quick. I'll tell you something though, and I've come across this before, not much lately. Whenever we break above somewhere and we get a quick, swift drop, that tells me there's a lot of some strong selling going on there. So usually that is a good indicator of where the market's going. I've noticed that before a few times. When it does drop towards a certain direction, it tends to... it's usually a good indication we're coming down. I don't know if anybody else has found that. I've taken a few trades like that in the past whenever we get a drop. If I'm looking at a trade going long and the market drops and quickly spikes up, it's usually an indication there's a lot of buy orders around there. Let me just look on the tick chart a minute. Config. Yeah, to be honest with you, 10,000 tick chart isn't telling me nothing at the moment. I'm assuming you saw that, didn't you? Yeah, I wouldn't really call that a massive push-up. In all fairness, it just looks rangy to me. I would have said that quick drop was possibly something to do with a break out of there, hence why we had a quick drop. So it just looked, we got a leg down sideways. We may get another leg down here. So it's hard to know what's going on today, but that to me looks like we're going to come down to the bottom level, which is just above 48.75. 48.75, which is around about here. This seems to be working into a nice downtrend. Let's have a look. You could say it's... No, I'm not convinced about that. It kind of works there. So, bars printing way too fast to enter, at least on my screen. Yeah, they are a little bit. Usually, that's what tends to happen. I think at the sort of when the market opens, you've got traders putting positions in for the day. So, yeah, see, as I mentioned, the daily, it's a bit... I'll just drag the daily in quickly. Obviously, we had this downtrend for a while, and then we had that overshoot and a push-up. Trapped a load of shorts there. Thinking of going short here, and then we had that strong push up. We've gone up sideways, and it looks like we're going up again. But we've had two good strong bars, And we had the same there, really. So we may just get a bit of sideways stuff. It's hard to say at the moment. It's a bit hard to read, but it's hard to say. So we may come back a bit. We may come back and retest this. We may just go up and down, and just do some sideways. Who knows? So it doesn't really give us much. It could push up, but I would have said we're more likely to get some sideways stuff. But who knows, really? Okay, so we've got a channel down here. You may, in the NQ, you may say there's a channel, there's a break, and there's a new low. If you're being safe, you may do. And we've gone below this level, so I wouldn't necessarily be thinking about going short at the moment. So I'd say, from what I can see, that looks like a channel with a break and a new low. So unless we decide to work down there. Okay, so yeah, I'm just sitting tight at the moment. It is a bit sideways. This just looks like a failed break out of this at the moment, and based on the last couple of days, the last half of yesterday, it's just rangy, which would fit in with that the daily. I was talking about the second entry a while back. I got you. So let's just keep it on this. Oh, that one there, yeah. Yeah, ordinarily, I'd be interested in a trade like that, but I wouldn't take it because it's above VMA. I'll be looking for a lower high here, ideally something like that. Yeah, I'm guessing after this, and we had 2 more legs up, there was some sell orders, some short orders up here, which sent that bar down quickly. And let's have a look. I think we've more or less played that measured move out, I think, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Right to the nearest tick. 2 perfect legs down. See, with that leg and the break, I'd think it would be likely we would take a come down at least to here, possibly the bottoms. And we did right to the nearest tick. It's a nice second entry short. My only slight concern is it's closed above this level here. So I always now tend to wait. I mean, if that was below here, closed strongly below there, then I'd maybe be interested in it. Otherwise, most of the time now I wait for the lower high. It just ups that chance of being right. We'll see a break and a pullback. Yeah, it's hard to say at the moment, isn't it? Leg and a leg. Trouble is, it didn't come down the bottom here, so that would concern me going short again because it may trap you and continue on up. I've got no idea at the moment what it's doing, but I know it's going sideways. So this is unclear as well. Maybe it is a bigger channel down there. I don't know. It's all right, someone just asked a question. Okay, so got a channel down there, we got a break, and then we got another leg down there, 2 legs back up to the top. In fact, probably even take that up a bit. Yeah, perfect. So at the moment, that we've got a channel down there, a break, and a new low. We've come below these lows today. That looks like a bull flag to me. So I would think that would be likely to push up again. There is a failure there, but I'm just at the moment, until that starts to push, I'm not thinking about going long, but we could have 2 legs back, and if this continues on up, this will so it does look like a bull flag, in which case I'd expect it to push up the length of the stem. So maybe if we can get a higher low up here, 2 legs back, leg. There is a failure there, but I'm not a fan of that. It's a bit congested. But if that pushes above this bar here, I expect that to at least hit here. But at the moment, it's a bit congested. So I'm just going to sit tight. There's going to be some stops there, 100%, and there'll be some there as well. 2 legs up, there'll be some there. So if we can push up, maybe get a higher low here, then I'll be interested in that. Leg, 2 legs back. We need a higher low here. I'd like to see that bearish bar trigger. It has triggered. That pushes up above there. That'll go up. I would have said that will go up to somewhere around about there. Up here somewhere, let's see. There is a higher low there, but it's a bit congested at the moment. Let's see how that gets on. Higher low, possible second entry long, but this could come down, so back down to the EMA. Possible downtrend. I don't know at the moment. I want to see what this does. So I'm going to get rid of that. Let's have a look. There's possibly a bigger trend there. If we can get a lower high here. Okay, second entry long triggered. If that comes down below here, I can see this coming down. In which case I expect this to come down, and maybe that trend is valid. That trend channel's valid. Freeze in motion. How you doing, buddy? How are you doing? There's a failure there. Let's see what happens here. This may come down here. If this can break below this bar here, I'd expect this to come down.
Order submitted.
It is congested though on here, so I'm not a fan of that. No.
Order cancelled.
Sideways there and sideways there. If it does break below that bullish bar, I do expect it to come down. But it's risky when it's like that. It just has risk to it. And this is just 1 minute. It looks like it's going up next minute. If it breaks below there, it'll come down, I think, at least for another leg. So there is a possibility that this is a bigger channel. We just got a break of it, and eventually we'll make a new low. But we've already broke the lows there, and it's always possible, but we've had a channel with the break. So I've got mixed feelings about this at the moment. And judging by the way it's going sideways, I think so have some other people. So just going to have to sit tight through this. My good, thanks. Cup in hand. Excellent. Ready to do some learning. Brilliant. Brilliant. Every day is a school day for us all. It's sort of like a real art reading this, isn't it? And it's just one of those things that you just generally get better at the longer you do. If we can get below this bullish bar there, then I would suspect we will get another leg down. And if we start to move down, but it is a bull flag. Well, it's not the tidiest bull flag you've seen. So normally it would go like this, and then it would go like that. Let's see if we can get a higher low here. My concern is that channel is valid. I don't think it is. Let me have a look. No, I'm getting rid of it because it's affecting my thought process at the moment. Triple touch. It's just congested to shit at the moment. So it really could do anything. From what I'm seeing at this, usually when we do this in the price holds, it will usually push up. But I am aware that there is a possibility that there is a bigger channel there. I got mixed feelings because that's nice as well with the break. So, in fact, I usually say it's a safer option to assume we've had a break in a new low. And that stops you trading in the wrong direction. But it could come down. It obviously depends how people feel about that. But I would suspect usually when it pushes up, it goes sideways. Usually it's like a mirror image. I'd expect it to go. And if we can get above here, there'll be some stops there, I would have said, and possibly here as well. So if we can get up to these levels, but obviously when it goes sideways, it does. It does make things a bit risky. Want to get above there really, then I expect it to have a bit of a push. So let's have a look. Okay, it's got above there. Let's see if it holds. Sometimes it'll snap back, but it does seem to be holding. So if we can get a higher low here, I don't mind going long into there. Leg. Because this could continue to go sideways a little bit longer. I like the way it's trapped that and it's pushing up. That's a good sign. And the same there. I'm tempted to take that. We've already been out of here once and we've pulled back in, so I'm just going to have to sit tight there. Okay, it's a big ass bar that is. It is a higher low. So that's a higher low. Trouble is there's clearly some support there, although this looks to me like it's going long. It just doesn't feel natural to go into that support, so maybe we push up a bit high, get a bearish bar, trigger it, and then we get a failed second entry short to push us higher. But at the moment, it's just, I ain't going long into that at the moment. It is holding above here, which is encouraging. But it's not pushing up as strong as I thought it might do. There is a second entry short there, which is triggered. Okay, so there's a failure there. Trouble is, I still don't want to go long into that. Not that I don't think if this pushes up, that'll push through there, but it just, I don't like the look of going long into that, so I'm just going to sit out here. It's a lot clearer on it than it is here. But it's not pushing up as strongly as I thought it might do, so let's see. Caution. Caution. Okay. Okay, quite a nice big bullish bar on top of there. I like that. That's encouraging. We've had the option to come back into the range, and we haven't. We've sat on top of it with a nice strong bar. So, push up, sideways, push up. So I would expect that to continue on up. That may even be a bit of a bigger channel going on there. Probably is what's going on here. Leg up. Come on, push. Maybe bullish and balance. Yeah. It's pushing up, so I'd expect this to. Leg and a leg. Trouble is, it's going to go too far. While we get a setup to this level. So if we can get a higher low here, trouble is we're quite a bit from the EMA there. So do I want to be going along up here? Excuse me. Try that. No way. So there is a higher low there that's now triggered. At the moment, the EMA seems to be holding prices. This is looking bullish. We've had a nice bullish bar off here, but we haven't gone very far. So maybe we're just retesting this line again, checking this line, or who knows. But I'd say there's a good chance that that's going to continue on up to at least here, I would have said. From what I'm seeing, I just don't like the way we've had a nice strong bar and it's stalling a bit. Very balanced open, yeah. I thought that might encourage some buying. Sat on top of there. We've gone a bit sideways. We had a push up, gone a bit sideways. We've pushed up. We've sat a few bars on top of there, followed by a nice big bullish bar, which engulfs everything else. You think that would start to go, but I hate this where it gets wicky like this. It's a bit clear on here, although it's not doing what I thought it might do. I thought with that bar off we'd drop, but it's coming back. So whether it's just coming back again and retesting this line or top of the range, or whether I'm completely misreading it. I don't know, maybe there's a spike in a channel, possibly. I'll leave that there and we'll see what happens. See if it does work within there. So that's possible, which would mean why it may come down a bit lower. Okay, that's encouraging. We've come back there and we've sat striking bullish on there, so there's a failure there. There's probably going to be some shorts trapped. Trouble is, do I really want to go long there? Because we can have a leg followed by a leg. I mean, I like what this looked like. There's going to be some stops there, surely, but that's a big ass bar. Well, it's not huge, but do I really want to go long into that? I know what it looks like, but let's see if we trap a few shorts. I like the way it's going like this. This is starting to look bullish. The trouble is we're close to the top of this channel, if that is a channel, so we may end up coming back. So it may not go that far before it comes back. So if we can get a high low here, rejection of the down rate, yeah, it's hard to say at the moment. Love the bar. I would have said visually it looks like the type of bar which will encourage longs. The trouble is, you can't deny there's a lot of support along there, so I think it's just a little bit too risky. I'd like to trap some shorts here, really, and then for it to turn. See, that's what I mean, leg. As we're pushing away here, see, I'd be going long here when we're towards the top of the chart, and like I mentioned a minute ago, we could get another leg back, and we are. Usually, from my experience, if we get a strong entry bar, usually the stop holds. So if that is a strong entry and there are some orders there, I would expect that stop to remain. So let's see. So there's a leg and a leg. Maybe we're going to push off bullish there. But it's just too risky going long into there. As tempting as it is, you just can't deny that. Let's see if it holds. If it's strong, it often does. That's coming down further, so no, there we go. So good decision to stay out of that. It looks good, but in all fairness, you can't deny that there's a load of support along there, or resistance, whatever you want to call it. It's just too risky to take. And is that taken out by one tick? Yeah, it's taken out by one tick. So yeah, the picture's just a little bit unclear. It's quite choppy, this. It's unclear, it's very wicky. And it's just too dangerous to trade, really. Now, if that bearish bar triggered and then turned, then I'd expect that to push up to this level here, but it didn't. So, yeah, it's just unclear, isn't it? Let's remove that a minute. That's why I like having this. That looked really nice, but that looked like it was coming back for another leg. But yeah, it's just dangerous. It's just full of traps. Okay, possibly second entry along there. Let's have a look. Really, until it gets above this and retests it, I don't really want to be thinking about long at the moment. Okay, so maybe there is a spike in a channel with a break. Let's see what happens here. That bullish bar's triggered there, so the second entry long's triggered. Let's see if we push up and make a high-low. So there is a possibility it's a spike in channel. It's hard to say at the moment. Let's see how this reacts. How many screens are you using? I've got 4, bud. And the one that you can see is the larger, the 29-inch, and I've got 3 27 inches, or 24, 27. 3 27s and the 29, which you can see. Trouble is, when you're a streamer, you need them. So I've got my left bottom one with my YouTube and all your information. I've got my top left one OBS, and the top right, I've got Discord at the moment, and I've got my Replicanto, me daily small charts, and me Ninja Trader, you know, where it shows your accounts and logs, and then obviously what you can see here. 4's enough, I think. You can get away with it comfortably. I mean, yeah, you're certainly going to need a couple, I think, really, anyway. I started off with 2. In fact, I started off with a laptop. I had a MacBook Pro, and I had Windows loaded on it, and I just got a couple of cheap screens. That's how I started. I even considered getting a bigger screen than this 29-inch one. Now I've got all this on. These screens are considerably smaller, or charts are, because obviously I've got everything divided up. I did consider getting one of the wider screens. The trouble is they haven't got the height. Apex started acting like other prop firms requested my payout. My best day at 990, which means I was within my 30, but didn't break the rule flipping either. Rather, prop firms, I requested my payout. Okay, my best day was 990. Okay, so you're about in there, aren't you? That means I was within the 30% rule, didn't break. 20% flipping rule either, rather made under. Okay, and they refused you. Have they refused you? Yes. Have they give you a reason? So you've done over 10 days, and you got 3,390 declined. Did they give a reason or not? Oh, it's getting a bit nerve-wracking, this is. It's getting a bit scary. Didn't give a reason. I don't see how they can just refuse you and just not at least tell you why. How are you supposed to change if they... I would hit them heavy with a complaint. Oh, I'd hit them with a complaint and just say, I'm not happy this. If you're refusing money, I've paid you money to learn this. I've followed the rules. If you're refusing me, you need to tell me why. God, it's scary. It's just getting nerve-wracking. Eh? There is a high. We got 2 legs back and a higher low here. That looks nice. Unfortunately, there's no setup there. Don't understand why. God, that's so annoying. Posted it on their official page. Admin deleted it. Right, I don't like what they're doing there. I don't like what they're doing. This is it's concerning. That I just send them an email. Send them a bloody ticket every day. I don't see how they can refuse you and not tell you why. How can they just refuse you? It is very worrying, yeah. I already created one. Are you on the Discord, bud, are you? Are you on the Discord? I'd put a post on the Discord, just see what happens. I don't see how they can just delete everything and ignore you. Do you know what I'd do? I'd go on to Trustpilot and put a bad comment on Trustpilot. It's consolidating. I don't see how they can legally do that, though. The trouble is, if word starts to get around, people will start walking. I'd go on to Trustpilot and put a bad comment on. Put a comment on Trustpilot and see if they react to you. They don't like having bad comments on Trustpilot, and see if they react. And you just say they refuse your money, you kept within the rules, and they haven't give you a reason. You put a comment on, you sent them a ticket and they ignored it. I would. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a screenshot of your comments there, and I'm going to put them on the Trader Den Discord now. The more people that know about it, I think the better. Let me just take a quick screenshot. Picture might go a bit funny for a second. Snipe tool. New. Okay. Picture's going to go a bit funny a second. Snipe tool. Okay. So, save as. Desktop save. Okay. Thing is, he's within the 30% rule, isn't he? What's 30% of 3,400? What is it? He's within it, I think. I believe the 30% rule is related to payout amount. How can it be? It can't be. So if you have £1,000 debt, you have $1,000 debt, it means you'll never ever be able to withdraw $2,000 out. No, it doesn't. It can't do. Yeah, it applies to the amount in your account. I mean, if you had I've had, when I first started 12 months ago streaming, my best day was $1,300. I still got to pay out. Otherwise, if you ever got more than a third of $2,000 you pay out, you'd never be able to get it. No, that can't be right. Maybe I'm wrong. You are wrong, mate. You must be wrong. Yeah, I can. No, it wouldn't be. So it means if you ever had over a $700 day or a $600 day, you'd never be at a 2,000. Nah, it's over the account. You're still over it, surely. There is a higher low there. Where's this? Let me just get this picture up. I'm just going to post it on there. We have to start looking after each other. Where is it? Let me have a look. Okay. Okay, I've just posted it on the, what's it? Okay. I've posted it on the Facebook group. As far as I can see, you're all within the rules. If I was you, the only thing you can do is go on to Trustpilot and put a comment, and then they usually respond. Hopefully they'll respond. But it's unacceptable, really, that they give you a reason. We put our hard-earned money into this. If you follow the rules, and from what I can tell, you have done, as long as you follow the rules, I don't see how they can refuse you without giving... The thing is, if your trading system is a bit different to what they expect, then they need to give you a reason. Otherwise, how do you know how to change? Yeah. Okay, I've put that on a post. There's a bit of a discussion going on now, so but you need to find out why, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, if you haven't followed the rules, or you've broken some sort of rule or something like that, I get it, but they need to tell you why. Otherwise, how the hell are you going to improve? If you're trading a sort of unorthodox way that maybe their system flags, and people will do, people will certainly, do things, and try and find ways of making money that don't follow the rules. But if they're if they refuse you, I think really you have a right to know why. Otherwise, how the hell are you supposed to, how are you supposed to? I don't say, sorry, you can't have your money. Well, okay, so why? I think it's fair to tell people why. I have a quick question that she might can answer. I have 2 live PA accounts with Apex, and I've been trading 1 contract. If I change to 3 contracts and make enough to get a payout, can they deny me? If my understanding of it is, if you start large, hit lots of money, and then reduce dramatically just to try and effectively tick the boxes for the 10 days, that's when they have an issue with it. So if you went 5 contracts and made $2,600 in 2 days and then did 1 micro for the remaining 8 days, they got an issue with that. And rightly so, because you're trying to get lucky. But if you want to increase your contracts, I mean, theoretically, if you're on a $50,000 account, you can trade 10 contracts if you like. As long as you sort of do the same or maybe increase it, I don't see a problem if you go from 2 contracts to 1 contract, just to be a bit careful. But I think if if you start to trade full minis and then go down to micros, I think that's when they'll start to ask questions. Because that usually spells people are trying to hit it big, and then trying to just to hit the 10 days just to get money. But as long as I don't see the problem with that. Trading, more contracts, that's fine. I mean, you're only going up from 1 to 3, aren't you? If you went from, 10 to 1 micro, then they're going to ask questions. So no, I wouldn't worry about that, mate. I wouldn't have a issue doing that, bud. Okay, so that's interesting. Do I want to take a short there? Because we come down at the bottom. It's just, I don't know. Leg up. There is a lower high there.
Order submitted.
And I'm just going to go for... no, let's leave it there. I actually don't mind that. I'm going to give it an extra tick. Leg up. This looks like it's coming down to me. We're at the bottom of this. Okay. This may be a loss. That's fine. It is what it is. It just looked like we've pushed up a few times and now we're coming down. So we'll see. See what happens. It's in a reasonable place there anyway. It's not a massive risk. So we'll see. Could call that a failure. There's a second entry short there which is triggered and it's holding, so it stops in about the best place it can be anyway, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully this will continue down a leg and a leg, and it may hold. We'll see. But I want this to drop out the bottom. If this drops below these, then I think I'm okay. It looks like it's trying to. Okay, we're just about below here, so we'll see. We'll see. Well, quite a bit from the EMA though, so who knows? Be able to see. It's a bit congested, but it does seem to be holding at the top here. There's 1 leg, 2 legs. There's a second entry short which triggered, and it's come back here multiple times, but it hasn't stopped that out. So I would say that looks about as solid as it can. So we'll see. Yeah, it is a bit congested. It is a little bit risky, that. But we have held multiple times here, so this looks like it's coming down. So hopefully this will follow. We'll see anyway. It is what it is. It doesn't stress me as much now taking a trade. It is what it is. You just got to put it in and then do it. It's slightly more risky than I normally would take, but this looks like it's coming down, and we have held multiple times up here. Can you can put break? Yes, I can. Yeah. I'm just thinking this may be trapping some. We'll see if it gets down here. I may get a tick or two, but this to me looks like we're coming down. Maybe retest this bottom here and then drop. Maybe trap some longs. We'll see. It is what it is anyway. It doesn't bother me so much anymore. You got to take it and let it go. But I like the fact that we got 2 legs up, a second entry short which is triggered, and we've come up here multiple times and we haven't hit that. So for me, from what I'm seeing here, we're likely to come down. But we'll see. Hopefully we retest this bit here. I'd like to see that trigger and then come down. It has triggered. Let's have a look. Yeah, it has triggered by 1 tick. So we'll see. We shall see. There'll be some big stops there, I reckon. So if we can get below there, I'd expect it to get down here. So, maybe get out for 6 ticks, eh? We'll see.
Order filled.
Okay, quick point. This is come. Well, okay. If I'd have just waited, a few more seconds, that would have worked. Sod's law, that is, isn't it? Sod's law. I did expect that to come down, but not that quick. We've tried multiple times to get up here, and there'll be some longs around here. So I expected it to come down, but not quite that quick. But I it's okay. I got $100 out of it. I'm more than happy with that. That's fine. But it's tried multiple times to get up the top, isn't it? And the same here. We've pushed up. We tried there, and we've tried again. And to me, it looks like it's coming down. And when it came down here, then for me, it's coming down. But what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? We're at the lows here. Where did I get out? Oh, wow. I thought it was a bit closer to the bottoms. But there you go. I pray for you, lad. Would I take the trade again? Yeah, I would. Because we got 2 legs up and a nice big bearish bar. And then we tried once, twice, 3 times, and it is a failure. It's a failed second entry long. You can count these or recount them, so you can go first time, second time. It is a bit congested, but we have tried multiple times, and usually it sucks longs in. There'll be some longs there. There'll be some longs there for sure. And obviously it's just dropped straight down there, whether, taking out loads of stops. I expected it to push down, but not at that speed. This looked like it was bearish. So, we got this channel down. Depends how you look at this, really, but... so we got that channel down. We got a break sideways. So I'd say it looks like we're coming down for these lows. Thank you, mate. Little bit of lucky volt. But in all fairness, we had tried multiple times, and there was a really nice bearish bar there and a really nice bearish bar there. So for me, I expected it to come down. If we broke below there, I expected it to come down a bit further and give me points. Now, it's really trying to go long, but it's struggling. I like the way there's a higher low, nice big strong bar, and it's turned and come right the way back. And it's tried a couple of times or more, and to me, it's a failure. You can either recount it or count it. So we'd gone up. So it was a second entry short. We'd gone up once, and we'd gone up a second time. We had a bearish bar, and look what's happening here. It's clearly holding here. You could probably take that up even more, actually. It's clearly holding. Let's have a look. That looks okay, doesn't it? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we got a bunch of touches there. So we do seem to be ranging. But yeah, I mean, I did say it was a slightly riskier trade, and it is because it is congested. But this to me looked like it was coming down, so that helped my decision-making process. Hey, you pray for me. I think I'm beyond redemption, I think. Okay, so we had a leg down and another leg down, so it is quite choppy today, isn't it? So it was definitely a more aggressive trade, that was, but it is holding multiple times. I don't know, I just get a feeling about a trade. I like the way we've had 2 legs up, second entry short, and we tried a couple of more times, so if we got below there, we were coming down, but obviously we seem to come down at speed. But yeah, if I'd have waited another second, 2 seconds maybe, I'd have had me 2 points. But the trouble is, you don't know it's going to do that. So, you know, you can't sit and hope it does. You have to just make a decision on the time. And the time for me was just to get out for a point. But there you go. That could be a failed breakout, which runs up new high. Yeah. See, at the time, I thought that was going up. Then we had a break and we tried once to go higher. We tried a second time to go higher and we had a lower high. So that was bringing us down into the range. And obviously, we'd had a breakout at the top of it. Usually, that subsequently, you usually get a breakout at the bottom. It'll often do that. As we know, you'll have a breakout at the top and then we'll have the same on the other side. So it looked to me like it was going to come down, which is another reason why I took that trade. But there you go. It worked anyway. I got a point. I wasn't too greedy. Sometimes if you're too greedy, but there was definitely going to be some stops along here for sure. There have been some there. We've had a break new low. So yeah. You just never quite know it's going to do that. Interesting. So let's call that a failed second entry long. Stroke lower high. Where's my... There we go. Stroke lower high. Plus 1 point. There we go. I did say at the beginning of the day, I have a feeling it may be ranging quite a bit of the day. And so far, it certainly is. Obviously, we had that strong push out there. So whether it comes back here or not, I don't know. But as we know, it'll often push up, go sideways, and then push up again, or do whatever it wants to do. So we may. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a range day all day. So we'll say, let's see what's going on here. Let's just clear this up. let's put it somewhere like that. So we've had a break at the top and a break out the bottom. So if that's a range, which it looks like it's coming from the top center, and when it starts to go, so we're going to leg down, we're off the bottom. So are we going to come back down or push up? Have you been playing a runner on your last trade? Would have just gotten taken out by the tick? Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not a fan of runners, and I've got to say I like Thomas Wade, but it frustrates me how he deals with his runners. I quite often see him get 4 or 5 points, and it comes back and takes it out, and it infuriates me. I watched him yesterday. I like him as a trader, but I sometimes I just wonder, why don't you just take the money on your or just go for an extra couple of points? But I looked on his thing last night. Was it last night or the night before? Let me have a look. Let me just find it. Don't get me wrong, I like him. I'm not complaining about him generally, but I just don't know how he works his runners. Let me have a look. Was it yesterday? 15 hours ago.
Traders, welcome back to another.
Second. Let me just see if I can find where he did his runner. Or was it the day before? Might have been the day before. No, it wasn't yesterday. I quite often, when he shows some of his live trades, I can't find it, and I see it go for 4 or 5 points, and he doesn't move his stop down. And I quite often I see him take a trade yesterday, and he lost about 5 or 6 points. So I just he seems to just wait for that big move, whereas I think you'll hear Mac talk about it, he'll generally bring it down to the next swing, because he waits. Yeah, but I just see him. He used to show a lot more of his trades, and I see him lose about 9 points in 2 trades, and I'm thinking, why? If you're waiting just for that one big move, why don't you? I mean, obviously, everyone, like Max says, a runner's a personal thing. Everyone, but I think the thing with Thomas, doesn't he trade 6 contracts and a runner, which I think is a good number. But Mac will usually talk about don't put any more than 25% of your contract size on your runners, which would indicate you really need to be trading 4 contracts before you think about incorporating a runner. And obviously, at 2 contracts, it just doesn't, it doesn't get me in that ballpark really, unless I go to micros and I trade like, I don't know, 10 micros or 15 micros and 5 on a runner. But so many times you take these trades and they come back and take out your runner. Obviously, I'm assuming markets, algorithms are designed to do that. I don't quite know how he works. He can win more than 50 ticks on the just runner. Yeah, he used to show a lot of them, and a lot of them I'd see him get stopped out. But everyone has their own sort of way of doing them. But it just used to frustrate me seeing him give so much back. So we've got a channel down. There is a lower high there. Let's have a look. We've got a channel down. We've got a break and a lower high. It's hard to know here, but we're at the bottoms here, so I can't even think about going short there. But we've come off the bottoms here. So is this going to go up? So we've got a channel down. That may be a bit of an overshoot. So are we pushing up, leg up, 2 legs back, leg up? I think that would be probably somewhere along about right, which would mean we'd push up from the bottom, leg and a leg. I wish he'd stream live, actually. I'd watch him myself if he did. I did, in fact. I went onto his website, because you can join, can't you? I went on it last night. I rate him as a trader for sure. Let me have a look. I went onto clicked on his website. Where's his website? Yeah, there it is. Oh, no, it's not. Wade Academy, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it there. No one's gone onto it. He does have this premium section where you can pay X amount per something. Yeah, that's it. He has a Discord, but he doesn't. Trouble is, I find Discord sometimes can be a bit distracting. I have it above my head, but I don't often look because obviously usually you're glued to this, aren't you? I do still have the quick glance. But I wish he'd stream. I wish some other traders would stream, but I don't know. Perhaps people see it as a distraction. I absolutely get that. It's only because I'm a sort of an out loud thinker that it works for me. £35 a month or £105 for 3 months. Yeah. What's it stopped as well, didn't he? I did consider joining his. The Gorilla guy, he stopped streaming. I was chatting with a guy a few months ago. It's the same. Yeah, I was chatting with a guy a few months ago. And he said he was interested in the Gorilla guy. What did I think? And I said I liked him. I'd considered subscribing for a month myself and just, seeing him stream live. And he said he was going to, and then he messaged me about an hour later, said that he got an email back saying, I've refunded your money. He's stopping. He said he was stopping trading for a while, so whether he's stopping streaming or he's stopping trading. I hope he's not stopping trading, but he may just be stopping streaming. I don't know, but he did put some of his earlier streams out, didn't he? And then he'd be answering comments all the time, so I don't know whether it didn't work for him. Well, I don't know, because I did it very simple. Viewing over my trades, if I see I was doing a runner, I will win double, but I don't know if it's easy. Yeah. See, maybe I will in the future. It's hard to say. I think what's probably good practice is to look at your trades. If you had a runner and you played it to the nearest swing every day, what would you make with a runner and what would you make without it? Obviously, if it was one contract and you went for 2 points, you're up $100 on that contract. It'd be worth just looking at the end of the week. Whether you'd have been better off. It's hard to say, but Max swears by it and he uses it, so surely Max done his own work over the years. So, perhaps it does work. No, but you can handle the stress. I don't know about that, mate. It's hard, yeah. And not only that, with problems with the rhythmic, you are in the trade longer, aren't you? And if anything happens, any type of news event comes out the blue or what, you don't know how it's going to react it. So especially having to use rhythmic and keeping an eye on all this stuff at the same time, the positions and orders here and there. Sometimes I like to, all the time, I like to just get in and get out of my trade quickly and be done with it. But some of these runners can go on for a while, can't they? If you've got a nice uptrend, you might be holding on a runner for an hour, possibly. So I kind of like to get it out. I don't think I'd have the nerve to. You don't know what will happen in the future, do you? You never know. But I thought a lot of these platforms, you can sort of trust them and, put your order in and forget them, but you just don't know. Have you noticed Wilson put a little video out last night clarifying what happened? I think there was a few people concerned because originally we had the impression something had gone wrong with Rhythmic, but I think he was just a bit too embarrassed to say. I think he had a loss and then revenge traded a bit, which is unfortunate. But I'm kind of glad he came out and said it, because obviously with that little bit of it's hard to carry a runner with apex trailing drawdown. Yeah, I mean, if it's only a point and you're securing at each swing, you may only give a couple of points back at worst. So it might not be terrible. And if you're on as long as you're above $2,600, it doesn't matter whether it goes up $10,000 and comes back to zero. Your trailing drawdown stops at 2,600. Well, at 50,100. So it wouldn't be that bad with a with a PA count as long as you're over that 2,600. But yeah, just going back to Wilson, I think he was just a bit embarrassed, just to say what happened. But I'm glad he clarified it, because there was obviously a bit of concern around thinking that it was rhythmic, and obviously we've heard a few stories about rhythmic lately, and it's just a little bit scary. So I'm kind of glad he came out and said. But I do believe he got $14,000 out of it, which is why he probably hasn't thrown himself off a bridge by now. But I wish him the best. I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. Sometimes you've got to do it a few times. You get that sick of doing it, and something changes. But, in fact, I don't think it's bad practice to get to $2,600, take a payment, and then do it again and do it again. Do it a few times, get some payments. It does give you the confidence of getting a PA up to $2,600 a few times. And not only that, is you've got some money then as well to. So I don't think it's bad practice. I even considered doing it myself with these two, and then getting some of the money, and then maybe getting 5. I'll have to see, but I don't think it's bad practice getting up to $2,600 and then taking a payment. At least you're getting rewarded for something, and you've got a little bit of money to put back. Sometimes you can spend that much money putting money in and never getting a penny back for a couple of years or so. So I don't think it's bad practice to get to $2,600, take a payment, do that a few times, get used to building it up without, having to go too high. So we're coming down to the bottom here now. It's hard to say whether this is going to go up to here or come down. We could have a leg and a leg, see, so I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of sideways stuff today, so see, this to me, down, up. If it comes up here, this will move off the bottom. Of doubling down after a loss is very risky. Yeah, I didn't realise he did that, but he did say he went up to 3 contracts. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I spent most of my time doing 2 contracts, but I've done 1 contract, and 1 contract does just seem to take forever. And I know saying that doesn't sound like a sensible thing for a trader, that you want to rush it. But the way I see it is I'm only really investing $140 into this account and $35. So I've only really got $175 on the line here. So, I've not got $2,500 in an account that I'm risking personally. So I don't mind doing that. But the beauty about 2 contracts, as long as you can take it, that you're losing the extra, is you do get into that safe zone quicker. You do get above that $2,600, where then you start to make some space between you and your drawdown. So that's how I see it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people do 2, some people do 3 contracts, but I kind of like 2. Over a month, I'd expect to get to around about $2,500, and at least then. But even a bad loss for me is $300. I've still got to lose about 8 times in a row, or 7 times in a row. If you're losing 7 trades in a row, you're clearly not ready to trade anyway. So don't get me wrong, if I put $2,500 on my own money, I certainly wouldn't be trading 2 contracts, because I would be risking $2,500 when really I'm only risking $175. So we'll see anyway. Okay, is this coming down further or what? Or is this going to push up? If we do look like we're going to push up, then I may consider going along there. But what I'll say is if this is a channel, we've come right to this side and we haven't come, we're still within this top tier. So, may not even count that in all fairness. May just be 2 legs. Let's have a look. So there's 1 leg, there's 2 legs. And that to me looks like it's prayed them out right perfectly. So if we can start to go long here, I'll take a long here. But at the moment, looks like it's trying to come down. Second entry long maybe that's triggered. I'm going to put that as a riskier trade. Okay, so we've got to push up. If we can get a higher low here, and a higher low here. Let's just put that there so I know there is a little bit of something there. Let's have a look. We've come off the bottom, we haven't hit the top yet, so we've had a push up, maybe a couple of legs back. See if we can get a higher low here. 2 legs back, so second entry long. Bar's a little bit iffy, but if we can get a higher low, can't even think about going short here at the moment. It's too much. It's just too risky. Okay, we've pushed down and hit that same place again. Could have a leg and a leg down here. It's hard to say, really. A channel down, a couple of pushes up. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. My sister-in-law's just turned up. Okay, this looks like it's coming down here. Trouble is, I just don't want to take a short down here at the moment. As tempting as it is, it could be a leg and a leg, and then we could go, yeah, I ain't taking a short there. There's a leg and a leg, and we could go up. So that might trap some shorts. I don't know if it will, but to me, it's just risky going short below this at the moment. So I'm just going to have to sit tight. I'm not taking anything here at the moment. Channel is valid, I think. It kind of looks like it, but the trouble is, I don't like the way that's... The thing is, going along, we're in the middle of nowhere at the moment. It could fail. See, most of the time, most breakouts fail. This one did monumentally, so I think that's a risky trade, personally. I think if you take that, you're going to get stuffed. Yeah, you're going to look. I'll be amazed if that doesn't get taken out. You just can't go short there, really. It's just too risky going short below here. It needs to come back and properly retest it, and that it's just... Not only that, look at this. It's clearly sideways. It clearly is congested. There's a leg and a leg. The reason I didn't go short is because we've made a measured move down here. So I'll be amazed if it doesn't hold, if that stop holds. And the way it's triggered you by one trade and come up, triggered you, sorry, by one tick and come up. It may hold, but I don't think it will. It's quite a big bar as well, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah, stop's been taken out there. So it's not that big, actually. It's about 2.5 point risk. But yeah, what happened? Triggered it, stopped me straight out. So it's... I wouldn't touch stuff like that with a barge pole. We're down, we've bounced, we're sideways. Yeah, it kind of fits in there. But not down here. The range is more important, and we're clearly going sideways at the moment. So it's just got trap written all over that for me, especially as we've had two perfect legs down on here. We've had one leg up, two legs up, one leg down, two legs down. We could have one up and another one up. It's clearly sideways, so it's just a no-no that. Did you take that, did you, bud? Which is why I actually got rid of that and just put that line down there just to give me some clarification that it was holding within that area. But not only that, it's just too far from the MA for a start. If that would have pushed up here like that, it may have been a different story, but we've clearly had two legs back. There's a bearish bar there. One leg, two leg. We've had a push up. Bit of sideways bearish bar, which is triggered, so we could get another push up. Excuse me a sec. All right, sorry about that. This looks like it's going to go up. When I want to take a higher low there. Ooh. I don't think so just yet. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We've had two legs back. It's just not clear at the moment. It may come down a bit more. It's hard to say, so I ain't getting involved in anything here. It's just at the moment. There is a possibility it could still come down. Could be a break here and it could come down, but it's not clear, so I'm just staying out of everything at the moment. I don't know. So we got leg down, push up, a little bit of sideways, may trap some shorts. That looks like it's pushing up. Trouble is, it just looks trappy to me. It's not clear. Excuse me just a second. Two legs down, one, two legs. Yeah, it's just unclear. It's choppy at the moment. Trouble is, there's a leg and a leg, so that's probably played out. So it's just, I don't know how everyone else feels about this, but it's just not very clear at the moment. This just looks like a failed breakout to me. I would have suggested. No, it's not really, is it? Could be a leg and a leg. Could do a bunch of stuff, really. Leg and a leg, maybe trap some shorts, maybe a failure, we'll see. Trouble is, there is a possibility we could come lower. You just don't know at the moment. It's not very clear. This isn't very clear. We've come from what looks like the tops to the bottoms, what looks like the bottom, and then we've pushed up and we've made a break and a new high, so we've had a couple of legs back, and it does look like we're coming up to the top. But trouble is, we're that far up now, it's just too late to get in here, really, and there's no setup, really. If there'd have been a higher low, then it may have been an option, but maybe if we can get a pullback here on the NQ to the EMA with the, you know, the plans on, or the thoughts on pushing higher, then maybe we get the same here. No, it doesn't. We do get days like this. I looked at this first thing to me and it looked like it was going to be sideways. We often do that, as we know, push up and go sideways. And look at that bar. It's hardly changed, is it? It's as good as a doji, really. Obviously, this is the daily, so it's, you know, there's a bit more, but there's only sort of like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's only really, let's have a look, 12 points from top to bottom, isn't there? Something like that. So between the highs and the lows of the day, 14.5 points. So that's as good as a sideways. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe we have a leg and a leg. See, there is a second entry short there which is triggered. Trouble is, that's too far from the EMA for me, so I'm hoping we have a pullback with this little leg, this little channel. We have a pullback, which gives us something to get in there. Volume will come in later, I think. Yeah, maybe. Although there is a second entry short, it's just in the middle of nowhere. It could come back to the EMA. It could come back and retest this, so I ain't getting involved in that. I like the fact that it's trapped that, but that's in the middle of nowhere at the moment. We could get a pullback on that, quite a dramatic one, in which case, if you did go along there, it's just risky. It's way too far from the EMA for me. It's in the middle of, it's up the backside of beyond, so it's not for me, that. So hopefully we get a pullback here, and then maybe we get an option to go long. But as we've pushed above all this, with this possible sort of downward looking possible trend, I'd maybe like to come down and retest this area before I feel confident in going long. Who knows? Let's see if we get this pullback. It just doesn't make much sense, this, at the moment. It's just very choppy and unreadable. Hard to read, but clearly going sideways. But, you know, after this bounce, you think, okay, we're going straight up, and we come back, we go a bit higher, and then we drop lower than this. And then off we go. So you just can't rule out the fact that that just may drop there. It may get up to these highs, but who knows? Which makes this, I definitely find absolute value in having this as well. I really do. It just helps me make much better decisions on my chart. Okay, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. Make a quick cup of tea. I'll let it do what it's doing. Okay, so I'll be back in 5. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so what are we doing? Okay, so we're coming back to this side. Excuse me, so we're making a new low here from this. Looks like. So we're ranging. The trouble is you don't know how far it's coming down before it turns. Some days these ranges are really predictable and they bounce at the same place, but it doesn't seem it happens often anymore, so what's the trouble? You can hear me now, can't you? Yeah? Should be able to hear me now. I've got my mic on. I took a break, that's all, so that's maybe why I took a 5-minute break. I'm assuming you can hear me now. Hello. Can everyone hear me now? Someone's going to have to put something. Who's going to be first? Got you. Yeah. No, I just took a 5-minute break. I used to do every day. My sister-in-law turned up anyway, so it was a good time to take one. So we seem to have a leg and a leg. Excellent. So let's have a quick look at the daily. So trouble is you could do this and then turn, but it does seem to be going from the bottom to the top. So I just have this feeling it's going to be like this all day. We've got these areas down here which it could come to as well. We're kind of at the bottom there in a way, so. So it looks like we've had a bit of a channel there with a break and a new high, if you call it that, and then a drop. Couple legs up and retest this for a quick short down to the bottoms here, but I don't know whether it's coming down here or not. I would have expected it to. So trouble is, if this is a channel, we've had a break and made a new low. This is a channel, we've had a break, maybe we'll make a new low. I'll have to see how this looks. How did you get the NQ and ES labelled on the charts? Labelled. Oh, you mean the blue things? These here. They're just the same as I got the words, the apex, what's it? They're just letters, just that's all it is. Yeah. Yeah, because I use OBS. Yeah, I'll drag OBS in quickly. Looks a bit of a mess, but all this here, yeah, it's going to confuse the hell out of you, that is. all this here, it's just written on. You just click add, and I add some words, and I just added ES, just made it a bit bigger, and I've just put it down there just so it's a bit clearer for anybody at quick glance. Obviously, it's at the top here as well, ES, but an NQ, but just at quick glance, so people can have a quick view what it is. Okay, there is a second entry short there. There's not much room to the lows, and I just don't like things the way they are at the moment. So I'm staying out of this. This is a bit risky because there's also sort of a higher low there. So I keep mixing up my chart here. Yeah, it may come down here, but there isn't much room to these lows. So I'm staying out at the moment. No room, no, there isn't. I'm just not a fan here. You just don't know whether it's going to turn quickly. This is a bit unpredictable. I mean, it could come lower, but it might not. I mean, I've got that as one channel. You could say it's that. It's a channel with a break. So, it depends how you look at it. But if I'm unsure, I just stay out. It's not worth it. If I take a loss, there's 2.5 points. So, you've got to then get 1.5 trades just to get back to where you were. So, if I'm not sure, I ain't interested. This is just not showing me. It's just not giving me a good indication of coming down yet. It kind of looks like it is, but that's just not interested. Not interested. How far is that? How far did it come? So if you get it a tick below there, I mean, really, there's a point to the lows. It needs to push through, so it's just not worth it for me. It's just too risky. The fact that it worked is regardless. It doesn't matter the fact that it works. So it's come down 1.75 points. So you'd have got 6 ticks off it. It's just too risky for me. You'd have got 6, but I don't want to guess where it's going to come. Once we get below there, we're in the lap of the gods. Is it going to come further? You could say that's a channel, although I don't like this bit. Channel with a break, new low. Is it going to literally tick below and turn? It's just too risky. Already had a break, yeah. I'm just not interested. Yeah, exactly. Already had a break and a new low. You just don't know. This could come down, but this picture for me is choppy. You may say this is the bottom. It's probably had as much touches, but often it just doesn't. Often it just turns. And that's why some of these range days are so frustrating, because every time they hit a top, if you look there, they just seem to hit in different areas. So you don't know whether it's going to finish here and push up or come lower. You know, I just have to assume it's close enough, and it may not come down lower. So it's just, I'm just going to sit tight. If there was a nice second entry short and I expected it to come down from here to here, then I may take something like that. You know, if it looked a really nice second entry short and I expected it to come down to the lows, which would give me enough, you know, for a couple of points, then I may take it. But we've already had a break and a new low, so you just don't know what it's going to do. So if I was on an evaluation, would I take that? Yeah, probably. I take riskier trades on an evaluation. But not on a PA account. I like to try and be squeaky clean as I can, really. You want to be far from the range, yeah. It just looks like a couple of legs out, doesn't it? Say from there to there and from there to there. Yeah, this is just not telling me anything at the moment. It could do anything. It could come back up. It could come down. I'd say it's more likely to come down. That's about as best as I've got, really. Same again, just too risky. It may work, it may not, but we're getting to these lows here, and we're in the middle of there, we're in the middle of nowhere here, aren't we? We're way too far from the MA. Who knows what it's going to do? But I wouldn't be surprised if that gets stopped out. So we've had a channel down, we've had a break, we've had 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. Yeah, I'll be amazed if that doesn't get stopped out. It's just a weak position. These weak positions usually succumb to traps, don't they? See, there's always the possibility on that daily chart that we come down and retest this top. So it doesn't really tell us much. It could just continue sideways. We might come down, up, down, up, down, up, and end up more or less sideways all day, or it could come down and retest. It really doesn't tell us a great deal at the moment. We've had a couple of tests of this, and we've broken out the top often when we break, we know we come back and retest the top before we push high, so it could do anything really. Trouble is, while we're down here in the middle of nowhere, you don't know where it's going to decide to turn. We're quite close to the lows here. So that's interesting. Let's see what happens there. See if we use them as a bottom. Okay, excuse me just a second. Okay, so maybe we have bounced off here. Let's see if we come back into this range. Maybe this is just compensating for this. I'm going to break out here, a few touches here, break out there. See if we get a higher low back into the range, and the same here. So we've had a channel break, 2 pushes down to a new low, regardless of whether we see that as 1 or 2 channels. We do seem to be using this area, so I think there's a fair chance we could continue on up from here if we're going to go back towards the tops. Let's just check there's no channel down. I don't think there is. Okay, I'd like to see that trap and then push up. And the same here. So there is a possibility of a channel there. In which case, do I really want to go long? That kind of visually doesn't look too bad, does it? So just got to be careful here. Okay, so that's triggered. Trouble is, at the moment, the EMA is holding price, so it's dangerous going long just yet. Although it is a higher low.
Order submitted.
Do I really want to buy there? Let me have a look. Yeah, we haven't had one, have we?
Order cancelled.
No, we didn't have one. We didn't have one yesterday, did we? I don't know why. Is he away? I'm not so sure, actually. I don't know. Is he away on holiday? I can't remember him saying last week. Oh, he is. Okay. Okay, he's away. Fair enough. Fair enough. He's on a cruise. Great. Good on him. He certainly deserves it. What is going on here? I certainly don't want to go along with the moment because currently price isn't breaking above the EMA, neither charts. So until it pushes above and retests it, I don't even want to think about going long just yet. Usually, yeah, he does. He hasn't for a while, has he? I did message him a couple of days ago. He hasn't been very well, has he? So he said he's been fighting ill health at the moment. So I don't think it's serious. Hopefully not. But hopefully he'll be back before long. Marco, he's a nice fella. Marco is. He's always been very supportive as me. He's always helped me. He's one of the guys I've used in the past. If I've got something I don't know or I want to learn, I think he's a solid trader personally. But yeah, he's been poorly, so that's why he hasn't done any of the bar by bars on Friday. Excuse me. Right, are we now slowly inching up? That's what I'm guessing at the moment. Mac. No, Mac teaches this price action that I'm using. I think a lot of the traders on here as well use Mac's price action. I'll tell you a bit more in a minute. I'm just going to have a quick bathroom break. I'll be 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. Right, Mac. Okay, Mac. It taught the strategy that I use. PriceActionTradingSystem.com. I'll show you his website. He charges $125 per year. He's a seasoned trader. He's been trading for about 27, 28 years. I'll show his website if it opens. Why is it opening? Let's try again. It's not opening for some reason. It's not opening. I'll try again a bit. No, it's priceactiontradingsystem.com anyway. He teaches this price action. And he's been trading for, I think, about 28 years, I think. And he puts a video on YouTube 4 days a week. And he has done for the last about 12 or 13 years, I think. There we go. That's his website there. But if you look, 2,400 videos. So if you click on videos, the oldest, he's got them going back 12 years. 2,700. So if you want to check out what he's like and what he's about, these are his sort of bar by bar analysis, which he does 4 days a week. And he charges $125 per year, which is it's criminal it's that cheap, to be fair. But he does it because he enjoys doing it, and he did say that if he did well out of it, he wanted to help some other people. So that's why he does it. Certainly doesn't do it for the money. He could charge a lot more than that. Okay, so we are pushing up. I thought we may do. Unfortunately, there's no real... there's no real... Thanks for the info. I'll check him out. Yeah, anytime. It's a very good system. It's very good, very accurate. And if you learn it well, you can get a really high win rate. At the moment, my win rate for this, and I scalp for 2 points. My win rate at the moment, that doesn't include the win today. I'm trading at the moment at just under, well, just over 90% at the moment. So with today's, that probably get me up to around 91%. So it's really accurate. So, but yeah, somebody mentioned the ATR is low at the moment. It's very low. So let's just check. I'm not missing something here. Anyway, if that was a channel, we touch the bottom there, touch there, touch there. As we've come down this time, we haven't got to the bottom, which tells me if that is a channel, we're going to have a break of it anyway. So I don't think we'll come down and retest it, because for me it's more of a range. It may have broken out the range here a bit more here, but still on the NQ we're clearly ranging, so I'd still expect that to come up to the tops. So, but when we came up last time, we came back, we pushed up a bit high, and we came back even lower before, so it's still very choppy. So I'd like to see a failure here, a short trigger and a failure to take us long. And the same on here. Triangle L once, triangle L twice. I'd like it to come down to here. I was hoping we get a bearish bar there and trigger it. The thing I have to be aware of is there is a slight possibility that we may not get above there. I think we will. but it just makes it more dangerous going along. See, normally you go with that, wouldn't you? But that kind of fits as well, and it actually fits at the bottom even nicer. But what I will say is we've come down to the bottom here, here, and here, and this time we haven't, which tells me we're losing momentum. So that's what the channel's telling me, which means we will push up. Now take away the channel. I'm looking at a range, so I still think we're going to push up. But I'm just getting mixed signals, so I'm just sitting tight at the moment, really. Clearly just ranging on here, so I suspect, or I'd expect to push up a bit towards the top. So, possible failure. It's gone really slow now, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't know, what is it, lunchtime? What time is it? 5 to midday Eastern time, isn't it? So I don't know, what time do they usually have lunch? Isn't it a bit early midday for lunch, is it? I don't know. Okay, this looks like it may be going higher. I want a higher low really, or a second entry long. That would take us up to this area here. Like a little pullback. So we got a leg up. Nothing there, absolutely nothing at the moment. Failed second entry short there. I just ain't going along there and put me stop there. It's just too risky at the moment. This could come back for a pullback. And if you took that there, 2.5 points is not terrible. I just have a concern that just concerns me just a little. I just don't like the picture I'm seeing, really. Yeah, it seems to be working in here, but this may come down towards... See, last time it went up off the bottom, it came off the bottom, then it dropped, went a bit higher, and then came right down below there. So it could come down low before it may decide to push up. So I just don't like what it did. It's slow, and it just makes it a bit more unpredictable. So I'm just staying out at the moment. I don't like what I'm seeing. It's not something that fills me full of confidence, that failure. Got a big bar, slightly smaller still, just maybe lucky momentum. Thinking I was just trapped and it will pop, maybe. And if this is a channel, we're very close to the top, so I tend to go with a feeling now. If something doesn't feel right, I tend to leave it alone, and it most of the time it keeps me pretty safe. Hate the market when it's moving slow. I like that sort of fluidity of it, because you just don't know. Time for a sleep. You're about right. I think we should have a siesta, shouldn't we? See, if this is a channel, which it looks like, it, we're very close to top, so it could come back and retest the top here. And this, we're quite a ways away from the EMA. It could come back and test this area. I just don't trust the way this is doing at the moment. It did the same there, pushed up nice and strong, quite a strong pullback, and then came back quickly. I just don't like it when it goes slow and these bars get a bit smaller. I'm happy just to stay out of it. I should have let it run. Channel down, break, low. It's not filling me full of confidence, to be honest with you. And bearing in mind, 2 legs up, we're right at the tops. So normally when we get to the tops of the channel, you'd expect a return to this side. But I just don't know. Just not like, it's just not filling me full of confidence, put it that way. Especially seeing what this did. To be fair, anyway, bud, the ATR is really low at the moment. I think six ticks is about right, I think. I mean, yes, when the ATR is low, sometimes it's better to take a little bit less and be certain. See, another reason that would concern me, it's pushed up and come down and closed just below that line, so you just don't know whether it's going to trigger you and come back down. There's always a possibility. Another reason sometimes that I don't like going long is when you seem to be getting some sort of support here, because it'd be a damn shame to trigger that and then come down and come down low. I don't think it is. But I'm always just aware. That's why I put that line. I'm just aware that there is a possibility that there is some resistance there, and that may cause us some problems. I don't think it will, what I'm seeing here, but you know what I mean. If I go to take a trade here and I'm aware of this, and it turns against me, I'll end up punishing myself. I'll only pour myself 1 shot of single malt tonight instead of 2, and I just don't think I could handle that. In all fairness. See, there's multiple ways this could be. It could be that, just a break a new low and we're going up. But obviously, you know, sometime we do expand things. And the way this, we had a leg up and a leg up, and we had a leg up and a leg up, and it came down lower than here. So you just don't know. And when it's like this and it's choppy, every time it's hitting the top, it's doing it in different levels. It just makes me nervous. I wouldn't be shocked if that comes down. Nothing worse than a slow market. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those days today. Makes me smoke a lot. I haven't got that habit anymore. I used to when I was younger. I haven't smoked for about 15 years. I was never a big smoker. It was usually when I had a beer. still miss it, do you really? Doesn't bother me in the slightest. I was never really what I would call addicted. I could not have a smoke for three weeks. But then when I went out and went out of an evening and went out some beers, I could not have a smoke. So, but no, since my daughter was born 15 and a half years ago, it just stopped. It never bothered me. I was one of the lucky ones that could just walk away from it. One pack a day, were you really? Yeah. Best thing you can do, really, isn't it? There are big health benefits to giving up, for sure. It really keeps the stress. Yeah, I get that, mate. I get it. I'm okay with stress at the moment. I'm in quite a good place at the moment. It's not affected me too much, fortunately. But yeah, I get it. I think that's why I'm quite strict. I wait till I feel comfortable about a trade. I don't sort of make this sort of decision just works in the background of my mind. I just either like it or I don't. But if I have a feeling that I should stay out of it and I get into a trade, that's when I beat myself up. So I kind of wait until I feel I like this and I just go ahead and take it. And then if it doesn't work, I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite okay with that. But I just tend to avoid at all costs. If something doesn't feel right, I just avoid it. And in all fairness, it keeps me in a good place. But I've always been a bit of an all or nothing type of person. I either want it perfect or I just go on tilt. So I've had to learn to, accept the fact that I will make mistakes from time to time. I'll take a trade that, that might have looked okay at the time, but it's easy to misjudge things. Most of the time this market's moving pretty quick, so it's easy to misjudge something and, jump in and take something that looked okay at the time, but, in hindsight, it takes a long time to get really good at this. I've only been trading a little over 3 years, so I'm still, I'm still sort of really in the intermediate level. So I'm still learning, still making mistakes from time to time, but I'm in a place that I like my decision process now. I get a gut feeling about it. It either feels good or it doesn't. And the only way I can describe that is when you've been trapped and you've lost trades so many times that you get these pictures in your head when you lose a trade, especially when your eyes have been glued to the screen, you got that picture and it's locked away in your brain. And if it has a bad ending or a loss, you tend to remember that. And when you get a picture that looks similar to that again, you get that feeling, that uneasy feeling. Usually, if I take a trade, I can't click the button quick enough. I'm quite happy to just to jump straight in. So that the only way I can put it down to is, you build up this sort of library of mental images, good and bad. Good ones of good setups and that. And the more you build that image, the more you can sort of, dig on it and find those images. And when a picture comes up, if you've been there before and it was a bad ending, you can tend to take away, tend to stay away. But I don't tend to make a sort of verbal decision now. It just, it's starting to feel like driving now. I just tend to do it without thinking too much about it. I'm assuming that's how most traders will. I don't know, really. Excuse me. But usually if I don't like it, I'll just stay away from it now. And there's just something that I don't like about this at the moment. It's quite unpredictable on the NQ at the moment. We came right off the bottom and then we had a pullback and we went higher. I expected to at least get up here and then we just had 2 quick moves down. So that's my concern. We're going to do the same again, which is why I'm not getting in here. Now, if we can manage to get a higher low here, then that, I may sort of start to think, okay, it looks like we're moving up some more. Then maybe I'll find an entry, here or something. A bigger daily trend line is holding, you think? A daily trend line. So this is the daily. And at the moment, I mentioned earlier, it looks like we may end up ranging all day, and so far it hasn't, let us down. It's done exactly that. So I just have a feeling it's going to be a range day today. We often see this, don't we? A push up, 2 or 3 bars to the side, and then a push up again. And also it's got the option to come down and retest this line, so it could do a bunch of stuff here, really. But I was expecting a bit of a choppy, sidewaysy day, and it hasn't denied us, has it? So there is a nice bullish bar there, which is triggered. So if that comes down and stops that out, I expect to push down to this level, and then I expect this to come down as well. What would that failure have given you? So let's say we take it there. So you've got a 1.5 because it would have had to tick through. So you've got a 1.5 comfortably. We're going to 4882 up here. We could come lower. We've already been to 4882, haven't we? We could have a leg and a leg, see, who knows? See, really, well, if you don't count that, we've got a leg up and a leg up and a leg down. We could get another leg down. Let's see if this holds and it pushes up higher, then yeah, I agree, we're going up higher. But at the moment, it's just, I don't like these wicks. I mean, if you see that as a channel down, there is a possibility we could come down and retest these lows. It's just hard to say. This isn't giving me a confidence in where it's going. You know, we've had 2 legs up and we did there 1 leg, 2 legs, and then we had 2 legs down which came below here, so that may come down to here somewhere. I mean, look what's happening there. If I took that now, I'll be a bit concerned that that was going to stop me out. I'm not saying it's going to, but you just don't know whether we're going to have another leg down. If we come down here, that's going to come down even lower. I do like the fact that it's holding on the line there, the bottom of this channel, but look at that, see? You just don't know. What I'd like to have seen is that lower high trigger and then push up, in which case we may get a second entry long. Yes, there is a possibility of a bigger channel there. I'm not so sure. Channel break. Maybe a higher low. I just don't like that at the moment. I'd have preferred it to trigger that lower high there. I like the way we've got like a triple bottom there where it's touched there 3 times. Trouble is, it's also congested, so you just don't know. I don't trust this at the moment, so I don't trust this. 1 minute it looks bullish, next minute it looks bearish, and look at this, look how it's just changed. The thing is about the NQ, as we know, it moves a lot quicker than this, so you can get a better feel for what's happening, because it tends to do it in a swifter, smoother motion, which is a bit quicker than this. And obviously when things move a bit quicker, sometimes it's easy to assess what's going on. You've got a wider, but don't like a shorter. Yeah, I don't like anything here. If there's anything larger going on, is there? It's always possible. Yeah, there could be something like that, which is another reason not to go long. That's certainly possible. I'd like to see that bearish bar trigger there. See what happens if that happens. If that triggers and then it turns, then yeah, but okay, that's triggered. Now, there's probably going to be some stops below that bar there, pushed up. There's sort of a failure there, if you like. So if that comes below here, then it may come down a bit. But it could also do the opposite. Marco just posted his chart, only one trade. Yeah, there's clearly not a lot today. It's a bit slow, it's a bit choppy, isn't it? It's not the best looking chart, is it? It may sort itself out later. Sometimes when I come back, we have a great big rally and a really nice looking channel, so you just never know. You never know what's going to happen. I don't tend to do much more than 3 hours, which it's quite a short day, really. I thought traders, when I first started, I was told you'd have long days and all that, but most traders I know trade for around about the 2 to 4 hours. And some even less. Some people just take one trade and that's it. I know Kev Cundiff, I think he's a one and done guy. I absolutely get it. If you can get one trade a day, you can make all the money you want. Okay, so second entry long. Maybe this is just two. We've had 2 legs up, 2 legs back, and now we're pushing up. That's a possibility. Short selling directly into the range lows. 2 legs back, so 2 legs up, 2 legs back. We did that before. 2 legs up, 2 legs back, and then up. So let's see how this closes. I'd say there's sure going to be some stops probably above there somewhere, and maybe here 2 legs. So I'm still a bit on the fence as to know what to do here. At the moment, I'm just sitting tight, but there is 2 legs. If we can push up and get a higher low, then I think there's a good chance we're going to work up to these tops. There is a second entry long there, possibly, but it's just congested, so it's a no-brainer for me. I can't take it. But that's the thing. This changes so quick. 1 minute it looks like it's bullish, next minute it turns. So this is clearly congested anyway, so I'm just staying well away. It's just not worth it. If you're trading in this, you might as well just flip a coin. So are we coming down? Certainly could do. So we could go up or down here, in all honesty. I like the way we've had two legs up and we're testing the top of this, the top of the bottom of the range. But it doesn't really matter if this comes down. Okay, maybe we're just having two legs down. I don't think we can stretch this at all, can we? Maybe two legs. It's possible. I don't know, though. I think that's a safer option at the moment. One leg, two legs. See if we end up bullish here. If we get something bullish, then maybe a higher low on this, as long as it corresponds to what I'm seeing here. But they're looking quite a lot alike at the moment. These two are leg, 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 leg. So maybe this is a channel with a break. I'm coming down for a new low. Yeah, see, I've just looked on Marco's chart here, and he's taken that, hasn't he? He's got a failure there. That bar there is ticked above here on his chart. I'll bring it in. So there, yeah, so it's ticked above. So he's come from here, first entry. It's a failure, that is. That bar's ticked above there. It hasn't on my chart. There, it hasn't. It's just pushed up to the same height, so there's no failure there. I was looking for a second entry short. We still had room back to the lows, but it's just it's hard to say, isn't it? So he's just got his down here, which I think is probably likely. So originally how I had it. That's interesting. That's interesting. There's a second entry long triggered. Are we coming down to the new lows? It's so hard to say. It's not clear on here because we haven't gone up to the highs. So if I thought this was coming down to here, I'd be taking a short there because there's a failure there. I mean, there's certainly distance down here, but I just don't know what's going on. Let's see if we trap here. Trouble is, we've got a leg and a leg, so it could go up, could go down. I've got no idea. Not an iota. The trouble is, you make a decision on this thing moves that quick. 1 minute it starts to come down, it could turn really quickly. So, which is why I tend to believe this tends to show you what it's going to do before this, because it moves at a quicker rate. So second entry long. Trouble is, we've had 2 legs up, 2 legs down. It really could go long from there. It's not a place I'd want to take a long there, personally. I think it'd be more likely going to come down, but I don't know. Second entry long directly to the lows. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. We've come out, we've pulled back in, we've come out, we've pulled back in, and we're out again, so yeah. Maybe. To see what this one's doing. If this comes down and breaks below there, I'd say there's a good chance we've got to come in here low, but at the moment, you just don't know. 48.82, so you're up here somewhere, aren't you? 82, that's 82, isn't it? Yeah, you're coming up here, dear. It's hard to say, but yeah, it was just mentions, yeah, second entry long directly to the lows. Do you want to go long there? You just don't know. Trouble is, we've broken out of here and we've pulled back in. We've broken again, we've pulled back in. So, okay, so there is a failure there. What's this doing though? I just think it's risky at the moment. This is flitting around here, but that could turn really quick. So I just ain't taking a short there at the moment because it could trigger and it could give you high or low. This is just not clear at the moment. I don't know if there's any type of another range going on there, maybe. It's possible. It's a bit rangy there, in which case that is more likely to go up, I would say. Second entry long, stroke high or low. We got a channel up, 2 legs back. It's hard to say at the moment. It's just not very clear. 1 minute, if this comes down and stops out any longs, then I'd say that's going to come down, in which case I think that longs, it's game over, which means that failure will work. But at the moment, it's going down, up, down, up. It's just not going anywhere. It's not making any headway. So sometimes when it tries to go low, sometimes as it gets towards the end of the bar, it'll just turn. So that's not telling me nothing. Market's too slow, really, to figure out what's going on. Second entry long. Maybe we get high or low here. But that fairly didn't trigger anyway, so no one will win trap there unless you're sold in on that quick. Still not convinced at the moment. EMA's flat. It could come up. Test EMA and come back down. I've got no idea at the moment. So as long as I've got no idea, it's just sitting and watching and waiting time. Just a bit like watching paint dry, but less interesting. Oh, excuse me, just for 2 minutes. Okay. What time is it? 3 hours. We've done 3 hours. I'm just interested to see what happens here. Is there a higher low here? Leg down, and a higher low. It's hard to judge here at the moment. We've got a leg up. There is a second entry long there, which is triggered, and it's still holding. So that, to me, would make sense to push up to these highs. And there is a higher low there. So I'm tempted to go long there. How big's that bar? 7 ticks. Trouble is, this is struggling to get up. That's the thing I like about this, it moves quite quick. So we have got 2 legs back. Second entry long triggered, and so far it's holding. But I'd like to see that finish on his highs. Let me have a look. Who knows what it's going to do? Did the same area, went up, came down, eventually went up. Yeah, so there is a possibility of a channel down there. I'm not a massive fan of it, though, in all fairness. It could be, but it's just as much sideways as it's down. So there is a failed second entry long now, which is triggered. And there is a failed second entry long there as well. Let's see what happens. there's going to be some stops there. I would hesitate as a guess. Leg. It is a second entry long, so maybe it'll hold. See, you think there's a failure there, and it's triggered, and it's come back up. There's a failure there, which is triggered, and it's come back up. So this is just... It's just not very clear. 1 minute it looks like it's doing this, next minute it looks like it's doing that. I'd say there's going to be some stops below there and there if it can get down, but I don't know. Is it old and is it struggling? So second entry long, that stopper's held. Sometimes he's, if there's enough traders in there, it'll just help that stop be a little bit more, stronger. It'll help it being a little stronger, less likely to get stopped out. I think sometimes if there's enough traders in there. But this is just pure chop, isn't it? Clearly congestion. It could go up or down. 2 legs back. I'd expect that to go up. We've come off the bottoms. We've had leg, which we had the same leg, and then we pushed up strongly. So if it can hold and push up, then we may look for a failure here. 1 minute it looks like it's starting to go bullish, next minute it turns, so it's just so... There's nothing you can do at the moment. It's days like this when you really got to rely on your patience. Okay, interesting. Nice big bullish bar, that's a good sign. See if we can get a higher low here. Same again, it's struggling to close above the EMA. EMA is flat as a pancake, so it may have one of those where it just drops again. We're really struggling to get up. Possible second entry short. Trouble is, it's congested. Hang on, let's try it twice. So we know there's some longs trapped straight away. We know there's some shorts trapped for the failure. Thinking it's going to come down here and take out these, so it's going sideways. So who's going to win, I wonder? The way this is struggling to get above here, I'd say it's more likely going to take out this. So there's a second entry short there. Trouble is, I'd expect it to work, but you just don't know because it's clearly so. Look at that. It's just too dangerous to trade in that. Now, just because it works doesn't mean it was a good trade. It's clearly just congested. As tempting as it is sometimes, leg down, sideways, leg down, I just don't take them anymore because I've just given up trying. Because you start battling with the market and trying to bend the rules and trying to... it just doesn't work. Sometimes you'll get away with it, next time you won't. I've just learnt the hard way. You've just got to follow the rules. It just does not work otherwise. I'm not saying you're not going to take a risky trade sometimes, but as long as it's risky, maybe slightly more aggressive, as long as it's really within your rules. See, if you took that short, it triggered you. Now it's turning. So you just don't know, do you? That is a failure there. So, 2 legs back. That's whole. There is a failure. What's this doing, though? Is that pushing up 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Trouble is, got a bit sideways. If it does push out here and triggers above there, it might snap back. It might be a failed breakout. This isn't filling me full of confidence at the moment that we're going up. 1 minute it looks like. So if you put a trade above there for the failure, and I get why you do that, I looked at it myself, but it might push up then and then turn and give us a bearish bar to come back into that range. So I'm staying out of this at the moment. I just don't like what's happening with those wicks. We've got a leg down sideways. We could get another leg down. There was always that possibility there's a bigger channel. I don't think there is. I'm not a massive fan of it, but it's possible. If enough traders are looking at it and thinking that's what it's likely to be, then it'll probably follow. But I'm just not a massive fan of it at the moment. So, failed second entry short. Trapping the shorts there. But I'm just staying out of it. I might do another 12 minutes. Let's do 3.5 hours. That's more than I usually do. My sister's, my wife's downstairs with her sister anyway, so they'll be chin wagging away. So if I go downstairs, we'll end up talking about handbags and clothes. For an hour, yeah. Do you know, I had a feeling it was going to be a sidewaysy day. We're still sort of, well, we've hardly moved, have we really? We've gone up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit. Now we're sort of down, so could come down, test the bottom, push back up. I just had my suspicions we were going to push up, go a bit sideways, maybe a couple of more days, maybe today, tomorrow, and then push up again or come down and retest these. But if you look back over the last, well, since yesterday afternoon, we sort of got the same, really, haven't we? So we've come down here, right? So it's just really, it's like that at the moment. So big news down Thursday. What is it, FOMC? Something like that. So we've come off the bottom. So I would have said we would more likely be going up, because we've come off the bottoms. We've had 2 legs up, 2 legs back. We had the same. We had 1, 2 legs up, 2 legs back, a little bit of sideways, and then eventually we went. So I would say this is more likely to go up, but I want to base my next trade on more than more likely. I just don't like these wicks. This changes from being bullish looking to bearish looking in a split second. If it breaks above there, which it has, it could snap back. Thanks for moving. High low here might not be a bad idea. High or low to push up to the tops. I wouldn't take that failure, anyway, not with that wick. Nothing's closing. We're struggling to get above that line. I mean, we have done now, but I just don't like those wicks. So leg. It does look like we're likely to move up now. So leg up, 2 legs of correction. A little bit of bottoming. Unfortunately, there's no trade there for us. 'VWAP for the 4th time, yeah. Where is VWAP at the moment? $4,881. Oh, we're literally right at the top here. About there, isn't it? Well, we're up a couple of hundred over the 2 accounts today. It's not a great day, but it's not a bad day. Green's green. And I've only lost 1 trade in the last 2 weeks, so I traded about 91% at the moment, so I'm pleased with that. I've got no issues with missing a trade for the day or taking a smaller day. Doesn't bother me the sight as green's green. Other days, I had a day last week where I had 2 quick trades in succession. Doesn't often happen, but it just doesn't bother me anymore. I've stopped fighting the market. I just sit and wait for it to drop something in front of me and pick it up, and hopefully it's shiny and new. I've given up trying to battle the market. I've spent enough time doing it. I just don't feel the need to do anymore. I'm quite happy sitting patiently and waiting. I just hope it continues. So we've got this leg up, 2 legs back, higher low, bit choppy. We've pushed up. I'd like to come back and retest these. Maybe we get a higher low to push up to this area. Patience pays. It certainly does, mate. It takes a while to realise that, doesn't it? But it does. I'm quite happy. This is my comfort zone, actually. I'm quite happy sitting here. Whereas it's almost like I had itchy feet before, and I just had to jump into a trade. But if it doesn't look right or it doesn't feel right, I just don't take it anymore. And when you start to do that, so far it starts to work. Well, I started this account on the 9th, so about 2 weeks ago, and I'm just over $1,400 in each. So my target, well, I don't tend to set a monetary target. I think it's probably for me, the wrong way to look at it, because if you do set it, you'll aim it as a target, and trouble is, if the market doesn't give you, there's no point in saying, well, I'm going to try and hit my target. So I'm quite more than happy to hit $2,000 per account over a month. Now, I've been trading 2 weeks, but in all fairness, we had a holiday day, so that takes a day off it, but that's more than more than where I'm happy being, so that's ideal. You get $2,000 and you've got 10 accounts or 20 of these peer accounts. Well, it doesn't take a maths genius to work that out. There's plenty of money to be earned. But I think the key is really, I've just tried lately not to think about the money and just sit down and just follow the process. Sit patiently and follow the process, and then what will be. Hopefully, money follows you. I think there's a chance now we're going to hit this measured leg. We've got these tops, so I think it's likely we're going to at least hit this area. I can't see what's going to stop us now, in all fairness. But we're too far away from the EMA, and we're close to VWAP. Well, I mean, it tends to move, doesn't it? But it's roughly somewhere around about there, and we're close to these highs. We've hit this level before, so there is a chance. We've got some resistance there. You can see it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So we're not far away from it now. So whether we've hit that measured move now, so whether that will continue higher or pull back before it goes higher, who knows? But this has gone too far. It's too far away from the EMA. I was hoping we'd get a higher low a little bit further, but it wasn't to be. I considered that one, but in all fairness, if I went along there and I posted my chart later and say, why did that lose? People would be saying, well, look at it. It's sideways, congested, and wicky. So, I got a fair idea that it's likely to go up more than down, but, that's just an educated guess, which is sort of not really how to base setups on. So, we're more or less coming back to where we opened. Where do we open? Here. So we're a few ticks off where we opened. So if you look at that daily candle again, look, it's as good as a doji, isn't it? I had my feelings we were going to more or less get a sideways day today, and I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to let us down, is it? So I think I'm going to knock it on the head there. So $100 per account, quick $200. I'm happy with that. Green's green. It's not been the easiest trading day. I know Marco posted, so I mentioned Marco posted a trade earlier with just one setup. He took that short there. It was a failure. It's not on my chart. That candle there broke one tick above there on his chart, so he deemed that as a failure, which is why he took that. And I don't see no issues with it, with that one. At the time, though, we're coming close to these lows, so I think I had that about there. So you just don't know. We've touched here and touched here. So I have this thing on my computer, taking a trade, look left, and I can see 3 times, once, twice, 3 times it's hit that. So you just don't know whether that's bottoming for a push up, in which case it may push up. We've got a little bit of a pullback there, trap that bearish bar and push up again, which is why I left that personally. But that's where I had it. I deemed we'd had more touches there. There was 3 touches there, another 3, 4 there, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I just wasn't a massive fan of going short there. But as this started to come down and create, create a sort of bit of structure, I'm quite happy taking that down and saying we'll call that a breakout. But that did what I thought it would likely to do, but unfortunately that was about the only setup we had. But I didn't like it because of the wicks, and then obviously it went, and there you go, the rest is history. No entry to right. Not really, is there? Unless you want to take a risk there. It is risky, I think. It's clearly congested. I don't like those wicks. EMA's flat, tipping down slightly, but price is struggling to close above there. So I don't want to base my trade on the fact that I hope we're going to get up. Yeah, triple test along with the rejects 3 times of the lows. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it is what it is. You know, if it doesn't feel right, I just don't take it anymore, and it works. You know, I'm quite happy with that. So let's just say close below the range. Yeah, I'm quite happy leaving it now. It doesn't bother me in the slightest anymore. It's the only way it works. If you sit there patiently, and take your trades, take what you believe to be, as well as looking visually right. I think it's important it feels right, because I find now I go on more gut feeling, and I put that down to over the last few years of trading. Whenever I take a loss, that picture gets welded in my brain because I've been staring at it for the last 10 minutes trying to, you know, work out what it was going to do and why it went against me. And I think if you build enough of a visual library up of good setups that worked well and bad setups that didn't, I think you give yourself, you know, a bet much more of a fighting chance, and it works much better for me now. Excuse me. So I'm gonna call it a day. I've done 3.5 hours. That's more than I normally do. Not the best trading day today. I had a feeling it was gonna sideways a bit today, and it hasn't disappointed. It's pretty much done that. So whether we get a rally in either direction at some point throughout the day remains to be seen. But I got one trade there. Well, I held on for it for a point because there was quite a bit of resistance down here. But then it absolutely dropped quickly, didn't it? It dropped down about 3 or 4 points quickly. But it's typically, it was about 2 seconds after I got out for a point, it dropped like a stone. Trouble is, I don't know if anybody noticed Sam's from 5Trader. He had a short trade. He was in a short trade market, dropped like that quickly. For some reason, it... Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. My wife just came on to the Alexa. I forget what I was saying now. Yeah, it pushed down really quickly like that did. And as it pushed down, it hit his order, it hit his profit, and instead of taking his profit, it opened up a buy order as well. So whether it dropped and pushed up and clicked buy before it clicked sell, I don't quite know, but he posted it yesterday. Have a look at it, see what you think. But sometimes when these markets do move really fast, they can upset the system, I think. So I'm kind of glad I got out that before it did it, because you never quite know what to expect. So there you go. So a bit of a choppy sideways day. We managed to get a point anyway, which is better than a kick in the teeth. But you've got to be patient on days like this. They're just hard going, really. And if you can get a setup, I think it's a good idea to take it and run for the day. But there you go. That's me for today. It is Wednesday tomorrow. So I'll be back same time again, just before the market opens. So if you're carrying on trading, best of luck. I hope something happens and you get a little bit of something. But at the moment, it's a bit slow and uninterested at the moment. That worked quite nice, actually, but you never know at the time. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Unfortunately, we don't have it. If we did, we'd all be rolling in it. So there you go. I appreciate all the comments. I hope you've managed to get some green. I hope you've managed to stay away from the bad trades. It has been hard at times, but patience do really pay off. And I seem to be okay in that department at the moment, so long may it last. So I appreciate your comments. Have a great evening. Stay safe. And I'll be back same time tomorrow. So bye for now.